So everyone, welcome to our new series, Talking Hair Loss. So we've got 12 people, 12 haircuts, and 12 incredible chats about hair loss. Honest conversations in the barber chair about hair loss, thinning and receding, with some advice from me along the way. With new episodes coming every 2 weeks. This is Talking Hair Loss. This series is made possible by our sponsor, Manual. All right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio and welcome back to our series, Talking Hair Loss with Manual. Today we've got Theo in the chair. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good mate, cheers.
Good mate. So, tell me about it then, tell me about your hair loss. What is it what happened and what are you looking to get from it today?
Probably a year and a half, just thinning.
Oh, okay.
Pretty thin on the top.
Okay.
A bit wiry and hairline's going back a bit. I think it's okay at the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of the front.
Right, so you've noticed it coming from the recession points here?
Yeah.
It's a very sort of standard sort of way of sort of male pattern baldness essentially, right? Okay. And what is it you're looking to try and achieve from the haircut today to kind of help with this?
Well, it needs a trim on the sides because I've just come to uni, not found hairdressers, so.
Oh, okay.
And basically it kind of falls funny, like kind of clumps together and I have to kind of fix it a lot of the time.
Okay. And are you looking to keep the kind of mullet style going on, yeah? All right, cool. Well, to be honest, right, I think it's a good hairstyle and I'll explain why. Because if I could suggest something to you in a second, right, I feel like by having such a sort of strong look of a mullet, it draws attention away from everyone else, okay, which is a good thing, okay? Now this is like a personal thing that we're talking about here. This is obviously not something we'd normally like suggest or, like talk about on camera, obviously, right? Because we're doing this series, it's a good way to explain why we'd choose this, right? So having a mullet hairstyle is the thing that people are drawn to. Right? When people look at you, they see the mullets. Because when I saw you outside, I saw you had a mullet. I didn't see anything else. I wasn't looking. I didn't even realise you were even for the Manual series. To be fair, I just saw the mullet. So even for someone who's in the industry, I was drawn to the hair at the back. You get what I mean? So how would you feel if I make the suggestion to you? How would you feel if we were to give you like a sort of crop hairstyle at the front? And then keep it back inside, nice and tight.
Prefer to keep it longer. So, just because I like my curls more than anything. Okay.
Are you concerned about the recession points? Does it bother you?
More about how it looks, to be honest. That's why I keep it longer at the back because it kind of
it does draw away.
Yeah, you don't focus on it as much.
Okay. Would you like to have a haircut that does take away the recession though, or do you want to just?
It's more just how it falls more than anything because it kind of ends up coming down the middle and then springing out here and kind of leaves it there a little bit.
Right, okay. The reason for that is because of how disconnected they are.
Right.
So what you've got at the moment, you've just got basically one section of long hair.
Yeah.
So there's no support within it. That's why it's kind of just springing out everywhere. Usually when you've got curly hair, right, what the biggest thing I'd suggest for you is to grow out the top.
Sure.
Because then that way we can have curls. Like, for example, Carlo, I do apologise, mate. Can I just grab you for 1 second if that's all right? Yeah. I just need him to be a bit of a model for me really quickly. Look at Carlo's hair, right? His curls are uniform because they've got support from everywhere else. Right. When you've just got like single strands, thanks Carlo, when you've got single strands, they've got no support within them. Yeah. So all they do is they just flick out on their own. And they do have a mind of their own. Curls always have a mind of their own. Yeah. So you've got a mind of their own with no support anywhere else. It's going to be even harder for it to fall. Now it clumps here because obviously it's thicker here and getting a bit thinner here. So that's why it will clump in the middle. But again, there's no balance between the curls. So what we've got is we've got very short crown through here. It's getting a bit fine. Yeah. And then we've just got like loads of long strands. Like if you look at that section there compared to that section, it's like double the length almost. Yeah. So that's why there's no real support in there. So what I'd probably advise you today is I think if we were to try and make more uniform the top, and make the top more uniform in the sense of like the length, it would instantly fall better. Yeah. I just feel though it's gonna probably be like this for a while until you get a bit more fullness and a bit more length in it. Yeah. How short are you thinking of going on the sides?
I usually have it pretty short, just not cut in 8 or so.
Okay, give me an idea of a length.
1 or 2.
Or 1 or 2.
Faded in, obviously.
Okay, yeah, sure. And is that sort of just shaved to the sides and left? Because it looks to me as though it's shaved all the way through the sides here, then the back's just left.
Yeah, leave the back.
Yeah, so you don't want any graduation into the back. Okay, cool. So we're going to a 1 on the sides and the back. Let's just say that. 1, graduated up, whatever else, right? So what we need to do is obviously, I'll still cut it to the face shape because that's always the way they do the sides, right? The back can be left, and we can just, if you want to, we can trim the back if you want to, you can leave it. We'll discuss that in a minute. But let's look at your face shape. So that's the angle we need to kind of cut it. So we can get away with going fairly high and tight, which is good, okay? Then what happens is we've got to connect in the curls to something, okay? Otherwise we're still going to have the same problem you've been having. Yeah. So I need to take away this. Yep. That needs to go because that's the sides of the hair, that's not the top. Sure. We don't need to leave the sides long to fill the front in.
Oh, okay.
We use the front to fill the front in. Okay,
yeah.
That's the misconception of trying to fill in a hairline, is that people leave the sides and pull it all over, but then you end up with bits that just don't sit right after a couple of weeks or a month or a couple of months. So that's why we need to kind of work on the sides being the sides and the top being the top.
It is long at the moment, like it's not been cut in a while. So
okay, I think if we were to cut your curls down a bit, right? Because do you see the way your hair sits like that? That looks full, right? That looks a lot fuller than what it would do.
That's the thing. Like, I like it sometimes because it sits all right sometimes.
Yeah. Now, do you see this here? The sides bit here, right? That is actually, all that length here is actually hidden. That's actually just fallen into your sides there, right? So if I was to cut that to that length, your hair would look like that on top.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you'd have balance, and that looks instantly better than when that bit's left in there.
Yeah.
But that will hopefully just prove to you that we don't need all this length in the curl.
Yeah.
We actually just need to cut it to match this kind of length here, about there, and that would still curl, because I'll put product in to make it curl, right? So I think if you let me do that, you'll be so much happier with the top. You'd actually have a proper curly hair top. Yeah. Okay. Now back, what we doing with this?
To be honest, I'm just growing it out for a laugh. So leave the length in here.
Fine. Yeah, cool. Should I put a bit of texture in it so it curls a bit more and moves around a little bit more? Yeah. All right, cool. But you're happy with the length?
Happy with the length.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sound. All right, cool. Now, tell me, what are you doing about your hair texture? Are you looking after it with products? Are you shampooing and conditioning it regularly? What are you doing?
We'll use minoxidil.
Oh, cool. Nice.
For about a year and a half.
So I think still stick with it. Let's try and create something today that gives you a proper full look on top of the head. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that'll look nice. And then obviously with the back will draw the attention away. That top will just balance everything out nicely, and the sides will be really strong and aggressive looking.
Sounds good.
Yeah, happy with that?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's get it shampooed and conditioned, and then we'll go from there.
Sure.
All right, man. All right. So before we get into it, we just want to say a massive thank you to the sponsor of this series, Manual. Our first video with Manual worked out so well, and the partnership was amazing, so we wanted to bring more videos to you. So if you don't know, Manual is a British company dedicated to becoming the destination for men's health. Manual offer tailored and medically approved treatments for a variety of issues specific to men's health. And obviously it's their hair loss treatments we're talking about today. Best thing about it, it's all online. You visit the website, you answer a questionnaire about your medical history and receive a treatment recommendation. Your information goes to a specialist doctor on the platform, and from there you're consulted on a specific treatment plan for your case. You receive the products at home on a recurring basis and with a medical follow-up throughout. Manual were kind enough to send us some of their products, and we've had their hair loss treatments out on the shelf at our Regal Jumping Studio ever since. So let's go over here and see what they got. So guys, this is the Power Shampoo. This is an everyday shampoo. Revitalizes your hair. It's got a sense of stimulation in there as well, so you can really feel it going to work on the hair and the scalp as well. We've got the 5% minoxidil as well. We've also got the finasteride tablets as well, and the hair vitamins, which I am currently using as well, and they are fantastic. And Manual have also been kind enough to offer you a discount to celebrate this series on the channel. The code's on the screen now, but it's also in the description if you miss it. And the link to follow is also in the description below. So click that to find out more about Manual and their hair loss treatments. And a massive thank you again to Manual for bringing this series to the channel. So carry on watching this, because you get some great advice, and you'll also see some really good finished looks for anyone with any sort of hair loss problems. But thanks again, Manual. So we've just shampooed and conditioned, but we just used the Power Shampoo on it as well. So again, with regular use of that, it should hopefully act as a stimulant to help with the regrowth, which is all we're trying to do. So in terms of getting into the haircut, what we're going to do is I'm going to separate the back, because the back's staying completely separate. Yeah. I'll graduate the crown into the back though, okay? Because you want that little bit of graduation, but we can still keep the separation from the sides. Yeah. All right? Sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a T-section through here. And I'm going to finish that off where the original mullet starts. So now, I don't know if we caught this on camera, but you were saying when I was shampooing then, was you did this for a laugh, right?
Yeah.
And you did it with a mate?
Yeah.
But your mate bottled out?
Yeah.
Do you want to shout him out now and tell him, name and shame?
I don't know if he'll see it, to be honest.
Name and shame the guy who let you down, you know?
It's Tommy.
Tommy, there we go. Tommy, man. Tommy, you let the side down there, mate. Say it was for charity as well, just to make him. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to start to cut in the top to balance, okay? To balance everything out on the top. Sure. So I'm going to start with a profile section, and this is going to start to layer in everything, balance everything through. So from the center, just take a finger width section either side of that line. And what we do is we use the length coming from sort of the apex here, which is the middle, and this is going to create our solid shape. And then what I can do, I can bring everything up from the corners, will match to the middle. So we'll leave a bit of length through here, and then we'll graduate it into the sides as well. So I'm going to work to that length there. So this will still curl lovely for you, okay? It'll curl probably better for you, if anything, okay? Don't be worried about the length, because all this being a lot thinner here will not do anything for the finished look anyway, okay? Another section finger width away from that first section, straight up. Yeah. So you already had a bit of breakage on that section at the front then anyway, so that kind of matched into what we were doing anyway, so that's good. So this is where we start to bring that uniformity in to the top.
All I can do is sort of connect this area and it doesn't really make sense there. Just give you a nice tidy finish, nothing to
All we guys through. See, there's quite a lot of breakage already on that point there as well. I didn't cut that bit then, that was still there. So it's kind of going right, it's going the way we want it to.
Are you sort of open to
I'm going to match into the hairline at the front now.
If that makes sense.
So what was it when you were, obviously, what was the first thing you noticed about when you thought you were losing your hair? Like what was the first thing that you noticed?
Well, it's always been like quite fine and like wiry.
Okay.
And then just like when I'm showering, it just comes out of my hands.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of the main thing.
Right, okay. Did you see anything on the pillow at all?
Yeah, I'd shed a fair bit.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you notice when you were shedding it wasn't, the thickness was going from the shedding? Did you notice that?
It kind of, came together. Right. Noticed it. It wasn't like clumps, it was just strands.
Oh, okay,
really.
okay. Yeah, okay, I get you, yeah. How did it make you feel?
It's not great.
No.
No.
Did you speak to anyone about it? Like, did you mention it to any of the lads or anything at all? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few lads with not similar, like not as bad. I think I've got pretty poor genetics, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
And my brother had a similar thing.
Right, okay. And was this something that did you feel comfortable talking to your mates about it? Like, was it something you'd have an open conversation with?
Mates, and like, it's all quite light-hearted.
Okay, yeah. So you can kind of laugh about it, but also have a bit of a serious conversation at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Use a bit of humour to make it a bit more serious. Yeah, oh, that's good. That's good. And then what was it that made you decide to go on? Like, what was the sort of point where you thought, right, going to start looking at medication?
I just thought it's better off if in 20 years I look back and think, oh, I could have done that. It would have helped.
Yeah, of course. No, I understand that, man. Yeah. So what was your hair texture like before you started with any hair loss?
It was kind of just thicker curls, more ringly. Like the curls would stick together a bit more. Whereas now it's almost like individual strands.
Right.
Firing off.
Okay. So let's just say, right, ideal world, I could try and build up that thickness for you in the way I styled your hair at the end. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Cool.
Basically, I just want to be able to be in pictures and not be analysing the hairline and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
It's kind of the main thing.
That's the main thing, yeah. Okay, cool.
Or go out when it's windy and not constantly walk around with my hand on my head.
Okay, right, well, the first thing is that obviously that comes down to the length you leave it at, right?
Yeah.
The longer you leave it, the more chance the wind's going to get you,
yeah.
Right? What we need to try and do is look for a style that is going to be short enough but long enough.
Yeah.
Bit of a challenge, but short enough but also long enough to be able to style it into something as well, okay? So I've cut them in now, right? The curls are all cut in, they're all balanced, right? There's a little bit of length still left on the corners, but it's beautiful. See?
Yeah.
Both exactly the same length. Now that's going to help when it comes to styling straight away.
Yeah.
Okay? Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to connect in the crown and then I'm going to dry it off. Maybe I'll leave the back wet, but I'm going to dry the sides off.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to cut the fringe. I'm going to cut the mullet in. I'm going to texturise the mullet before I do anything else.
Sure.
Connect the top in, texturise the mullet, dry everything off.
Yeah.
Right, and then what you'll see the haircut coming to life. Then I'll put the sides in.
Perfect.
All right. So I'm going to pull this straight out because we want to leave the length down the bottom. And all this is going to be is just a graduation into the top. Pull it straight up. That's going to leave that length underneath. That's going to create a nice graduation. And we're creating a step at the sides, but a connection from the top, like so. So as you let that go, that layers in nicely. All about angles with our job. All about angles. I'm working in this sort of like orange segment. So imagine you cut an orange in half and you placed it here. I'm working in the sort of segment pattern that it would be.
So it starts to get stronger around about here.
Yeah.
So what do you think about losing that? Yeah, put your glasses on there. That will give a more full finish.
Texturising on this.
You see how frayy this is?
I
This
do.
hair here.
A slide cut into this.
So instantly when I do that,
Make it really chunky.
you can see, but you see how it gets fuller.
I don't want to use a razor because I feel like the hair might be slightly too brittle for that. So I'm going to use
See how it looks forward?
a scissor. It's a bit more chunky. It's not as soft. It's not as thin when you do it with a scissor.
We use that as our guide, and then we connect it in.
I don't think you need anything more done to that, mate. If I'm honest. Right. So I'm going to use a little bit of this moisturising lotion. Okay. Use this to pop into the hair. So through the back first.
Yeah, that's no good, right? Cool.
Like so.
No worries. So it's going to be shorter, though, alright?
Yeah.
You're going to do a scratch.
Put that into the top.
When do you last wash it?
I usually just shower every day.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to just let this sit. And I'm just going to start to work this in circles, okay?
Yeah.
In preparation for when I come to actually style it. All right? There we go. So I'm going to start with the back first. So what I need you to do is lean your head right back for me if you don't mind. I'm going to drop these curls into the diffuser and just work it around. What you start to do is twist these curls, it starts to sit more full, right? Through the top. So what we try and do is try and break up these bits of curl here. So when it comes to styling it in a bit, we can use that to fill in the hairline. So I'll probably put maybe a little bit of styling powder or something in this later, and just trying to really work in that fullness, okay? But essentially now what you've got is a head of uniform curls, okay? And then hopefully looking after them, moisturising lotions, things like that, alongside what you're taking, should hopefully start to get better and thicker. That's what we want. I mean, I'd rather not put heat on it, but we have to put heat on it, I guess, to dry it. So, there we go. So let's work down to a 1 on the back and sides, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'll take away the mullet, like so. And we'll work on the fade at the sides there as well. We're starting off with a 3 guard, and I'm working up to that transition area that we cut in before, which is here. There's transition. I'm going to work down from a 3 into a 2, and into my 1. Close guard. Into a 1. Make that up enough so that fades in nicely. We'll start to blend this in now. So we're keeping corner in. So working alongside the face shape is what we need to do. Take the hairstyle where. How old are you now, Theo, if you don't mind me asking, mate? How old are you now?
20.
20, okay.
Yeah.
So you're like 18, 19 when you noticed it was starting to sort of shed a lot more, 18, yeah, okay. And was that the same age as your brother as well, was it?
No, he was a bit later.
Oh, was he? Yeah, okay. It does seem to be quite a common age we've noticed whilst doing this series. It does seem to be sort of like late teens.
Yeah.
We've noticed that it starts happening, yeah.
Blame exams.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to know what could be causing this, though. It could obviously be genetics, it could be stress, you know, there could be a few things that could come in, get into play, you know. I think if you've noticed like other family members with it, then obviously it's probably genetic. Yeah. But yeah, if you were the only person, it could be interesting to look into why that's happened, you know. There's a bit of detail kind of here. Strengthen that up for you. we're just going to fine tune with the bit of scissor over comb now.
Can you see it like that?
Yeah. Just leave it outline.
So I reckon, Ken?
I think that's looking a lot fuller than what it did when you came
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
It really is. I think that's what I was hoping to try and achieve, to be fair, mate. I'm glad you like to keep the curls in, though. That's quite nice, because I honestly would have done the opposite. I would have actually went with shorty at the front, yeah. So your hair before the mullet, what are we talking then? Are we talking just
It was pretty much the same, but short back and sides.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you've always liked to have the curls on top, though. That's
Yeah.
always been something you liked, yeah. And did you ever think to yourself, oh no, man, I'm not going to be able to have the curls on top anymore? Did you ever think that might have to happen with the hair loss?
Well, I was always worried it would never grow back.
Oh, okay.
So I always tried to kind of keep it there.
Yeah, of
Kind
course.
Yeah, I always like my curls.
Yeah,
to be
man.
honest. Something different.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. It's good to not try and fight them as well, because they suit you. They really do. If you've got them, you might as well flaunt them, right? You know? There was a big stage back in the day when nobody wanted curly hair, everyone wanted straight hair, you know. And that's when straighteners became quite common to be used in, like, you know, most gents' haircuts. But now, obviously, curly hair is the kind of one now. You know, a lot of people are rocking perms and stuff like that. I know a few friends who've got perms and stuff. You know, which is really cool. I even considered getting one myself, just to kind of give myself a little bit of hair texture. You know,
Yeah.
other than it being really pinned straight and not being able to do nothing with it.
Full right, instantly. Around here? Or?
Sit a bit nicer around the back there as well. A little bit of fine tuning on the sides. So I think that's probably the best we're going to get
Yeah.
with the curls that we've got right now. Okay?
Yeah.
But at least you haven't got them long sort of strands kind of flowing all over the place. You've actually got a bit more uniform.
Yeah.
Which I think it does work. I'm glad you I'm glad you compromised a bit, because I just feel not having them big long strands is giving you a bit of shape to the haircut as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think when this minoxidil does start to work fully right, and you start to get on top of that kind of like more growth than loss, I think you'll see a big difference. I really do. Because the shape's there and the hairline isn't bad. Doesn't feel as thin as I thought it would, you know. Good. Yeah. You happy with that though?
Yeah, really good.
That's good, done it, mate. That's good. I think finishing the hair cut off, I think we use a little bit of powder, okay? Because I think that will give more fullness to the top. So just a little sprinkle, just over like that, right? And then down through the back as well. Let's get a bit more volume in that as well. We're gonna do it. We might as well do it properly, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what we'll do the top, like that, and that will give a lot more volume to the hair and give you a much thicker finish. And then just balance it out. Just make sure you keep that hairline sitting full.
Yeah.
So using the bits at the front that we've left with the length in to come forwards to cover it, but let the sides fall where they want to. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's really showcase that man at the back there as well, man. There we go. Right, give you a little look. So, there's the back now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that length sitting through there. I graduated it from the shorter length at the top to the back, so it gets longer. There's the sides as well, so taking nice and neat around the ears and just tucked away the neck hair as well, so that just falls in nicely for you. And then if you look at the side now, look at the hairline now.
Yeah.
It's not looking as far back. It's starting to look a little bit more balanced. Same that side. You see?
Yeah.
So not with having like those like long bits that were there. I feel like it just gives you a bit more shape and style to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good.
And the same with the back as well.
Brilliant.
Proper mullet now,
Yeah,
mate.
tough for that.
Solid mullet, that, mate. And I appreciate you talking openly and honestly about it as well, mate. I know it's not an easy thing to talk about, so I do appreciate that, man. And let's hope the Minox still works. Let's hope you stop seeing a
fingers
difference.
crossed. Brilliant.
Thanks, Theo. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so thank you for watching this episode of Talking Hair Loss. You can watch more of these episodes along here. Hopefully Liam's put them in. And we've got new episodes coming every 2 weeks, so don't forget to subscribe.